Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Melanie, and if you are new here, on my channel we talk about makeup, product reviews, tutorials, things like that. And today, obviously from the thumbnail, we are doing a tutorial. Not just any tutorial, my little sweeties. Today we are talking about the trends for 2020. Now, what makes a trend? Basically, a makeup trend, any trend in general with fashion comes from Fashion Week. It comes from the runway. However, I have noticed, my little self, have noticed that there are more trends happening from YouTube. And so for me, the real makeup trends happen from two places. From celebrities, AKA influencers on YouTube, or from the runway. And it's generally just from the runway, but I've really been seeing a lot of influence and a lot of trends, like the whole contour your face till it looks like something completely different, painting clouds and pictures on your face. There's so many things that have come from YouTube influencers, so we can't really write them off. We're gonna talk about two trends at the moment. The first trend is with more of a sheer lit from within medium coverage foundation. I'm really excited about this because there's a lot of girls out there who have good skin and they're just pounding the makeup on when it's unnecessary. Now, I totally understand if you want to do like a full coverage, if you feel like you need to cover a lot, you have like rosacea, you have acne. I'll insert a picture of how I used to have my skin acne over here. That was me a while ago, and yes, I will probably be making a skincare video about how I got rid of all that acne, but if you feel like you have to cover all that up, I get it. Stay with your full coverage, maybe just do a little less if you can, and then you can be more on trend with this, so I get it. But for the rest of you, there's no excuses. You don't need to waste all that product. Then the other trend that we're looking at is, it's because of us millennials. I really feel like we've influenced this trend right here, but it's really going towards makeup that is more sustainable, that's just better for you, has better ingredients for you, which I love that. And so I'm gonna use this foundation from Lancome, and it is the Skin Feels Good foundation. First off, love the packaging. I really despise most of the foundations that have like the glass packaging. It's just like a glass jar and you waste so much product because I can't like use that anymore. And this one, I like just squeeze up the product and it's a pump. I love it. It's so amazing. This one is also paraben-free, oil-free. It's a hydrating skin tint with a healthy glow, which is exactly what we're looking for. SPF 23. It also has some good skin extracts in it. It's really just wonderful. And so this is what we're using today. So I've just put some foundation on my sponge and I'm just kind of like sweeping it on to make it more sheer. Then I'm gonna pounce it in, right? To make it so that it's really just not really trying to give me a different skin. We're just working with what we have and just slightly improving upon it. This is also a great trend for like people with freckles. Oh my gosh, why are people with freckles covering them up? Like, it makes no sense to me. There are literally tattoos that people will get to give them freckles. Like, stop hiding your freckles. It makes no sense. I tend to lose my makeup around my chin really easily, so I just put a tiny bit more coverage there. And on my nose, when I give my babies kisses, my nose always gets kind of rubbed. And I can still see my freckles, which is what I want. I'm gonna make sure that those freckles show through by the end of this because I feel like that really plays towards the trend that we're going for. Now, because I didn't really put any foundation under my eyes, I'm gonna put a little bit more concealer than I normally would. I would also try to make sure that your concealer color isn't too much lighter than your foundation color. I think with this look, making it look really natural, if you get a concealer that's way too light, like when you're highlighting and contouring, it's not gonna look as natural as you want. So just make sure you're using a concealer that is a little closer to your foundation color. I'm gonna move on now to set my face with just a translucent powder. You could use like a face powder if you wanted to, but to meet with this trend, to keep it really just natural and soft, I don't want to add any more coverage, so I'm just going to use this translucent powder from Lancome, and it's really just because I have it. There's a lot of translucent powders that you can use that are good. Just make sure it's not like a colored face powder. but we really just want to keep it nice and gentle and soft. And if you have dry skin, you may not have to do this step. I mean, I would still recommend it so that it lasts you all day long, but again, I'm oily and us oily babies, we just, it's such a struggle. Like we want that dewy looking skin, but then right when we put like powder on top, it's like, it's matte now. Like where did that glow go? But it's really nice to just use just a tad bit. And I'm also making sure to stamp it in. I'm not gonna like sweep it around because you're just gonna move around your foundation and that's not what we want. It's already sheer to medium coverage. So we don't wanna move anything around. I just wanna set it in place. And the lovely thing, if you have a good foundation, even when you powder it, you'll still have that glow. So you can still see I've just set all over my face except for under my eyes, and we still are getting this lovely like glow on the cheeks, on the forehead. Like it still has a soft glow in it, which is what I love about this foundation. You can still set it with even a matte powder and that slight lit from within glow will still show through, and it's just so pretty. I am setting underneath the eyes with the brush, with the translucent powder, and you may be wondering why I didn't do this with the sponge. And the reason why I didn't do it with the sponge is because when you put the sponge with powder, it tends to give a very full coverage look. I mean, it bakes it on there. It's lovely if that's what you want, but we want like more of a natural look, and brushes will always give you more of a natural look when it comes to powder. So we're moving on to brows now, and the brow trend for this year is really just structured. Fanned out. It means held in place, but it's really a way of making your brows look like the hairs are like pulled up and like held down and like flat to the skin. I'm just going to do them like I normally would with some matte eyeshadow, angled brush, and then my gel. But I think I'm going to add more gel today just to give that structured look that we're going for. Also, please don't think that you have to do all of these trends. I'm just trying to fit as many trends on my face as possible to show them to you. But if you're like, you know what, I don't like that brow trend, or I don't like that color trend, but I really like that skin trend, or you know, whatever it is, then maybe it's something that you can try. And you know what, okay, if we get out of this quarantine and I go and I talk to my clients and they're like, oh, I haven't been practicing this, or I haven't been practicing that. Girl, what you been doing with your time? Practice this stuff that you've been wanting to do for so long. This is the perfect time for you, okay? Unless you're moving across the country or something traumatic happened, or like, you know, you've got like 6 kids to deal with. Y'all got time to practice your wing liner. You got time to practice all this stuff that you've been thinking about doing, but you haven't just done. Okay, my rant is over. Normally I would just do 1 layer of brow gel, but I think I'm really gonna exaggerate these hairs. I'm gonna use 2 layers. And I'm really gonna pull them like this way, like up, to really get that structured, exaggerated, fluffy look going on. And some people's brows just do this naturally, and I hate you all for it. I'm just kidding, I love you, I really do. My brows just don't do this naturally. And you know what, if you're the type of person where you have like no brow hairs to work with, and you're looking at me like, there is no way I can make that happen, then that's okay. That's totally fine, don't worry about it, it's okay, you haven't failed. You can just pick a different trend to work with. But honestly, I don't think maybe even a year ago I would have thought that my brows could look like this. So if you are kind of on the fence like, oh, I can't do that, just try it, just experiment, because you never know. So I just finished my brows. I did clean up a tiny bit under here on the right brow because it's a little messy. And just looking at it, like, I love this look. It's kind of like, it is kind of like messy and haphazard and just like fluffy and crazy, but I think it's super fun. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll do it more often. I don't know, it's kind of fun. I'm really excited for this next trend because going with that whole lit from within look, that, you know, natural glow instead of that like strip of highlight, that, you know, beaming face, which is still lovely and you can still do it if you want to, but to go on with this trend, I'm actually using, So I'm gonna use the Jaclyn Hill Mood Lighting Highlighter. It's in the loose powder, and I'm really excited to try this. It's supposed to give you just exactly that just like really soft glow, and she tends to put it on with a sponge, so that's what I'm gonna put it on with just to see what it's like. If it's a little too much, then I think we'll go to a brush, but I'm really curious to see. I'm just gonna put it on where I want a little bit of that glow to be. It's really subtle, but you know what? That's what we want right now. It's just so gentle. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna try it with a brush as well, just to see what kind of addition this does. I think I like the brush the best. I think I'm just used to it kind of just being able to put it exactly where I want it and then blend it out. Yeah, I like the brush. Like it just, you can't see any, like, it's hard to describe. You can't see any like highlighted flecks in it. Like sometimes you'll find a highlighter and you're like, that looks like glitter. But this, I can't even see the powder when it goes on. It just kind of blends in there and it's so pretty. This is a really great product. We've got our complexion done, we've got our brows done, and the trend for this year, thank goodness, it doesn't have contouring, which I'm so happy about. No contouring today, no bronzer unless I guess you feel like you want to. And the blush, I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna wait on my blush because I wanna do my eyes first and I wanna do the lips first before I do the blush. I don't wanna do the wrong color blush and then feel like I have to change my eyes for that. So we're gonna wait on the blush and we're gonna move to the most exciting part, which is the eyes. This year is when the eyes, I feel like, have just exploded. It's neons and it's pastels. Eyeliner, white liner, rich blue liner, neon liners. Like, I feel like it's really about the color, and then it's also about contrast. But today, oh gosh, when I saw this trend, I was like, oh, I have to do that one. I'm so excited. It is the watercolor eyeshadow trend. Anybody can do this trend. You can either do one eyeshadow, you can do 2 different eyeshadows, you can also do one look on this eye and one color story on this eye. And so you can have 2 different eye looks. So we're gonna do just a simple one on this eye, and then we're gonna do a couple of really lovely contrasting colors on this eye. Let's be real, you can use any primer for this. You can use the P. Louise base that Nikki Tutorials uses. You can use a really high-end, a really good concealer if you're in a pinch, whatever, but I'm just using the Lancome primer today. This palette has exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for kind of almost like a pastel. That's not true pastel, but if you just use like less product of it, you can make even this one, even this yellow look and this orange look kind of pastel if you just, you know, use a lighter hand with it. But we've got our neons, we've got some pastel options here, lots of beautiful colors. And as I was looking through just regular feed, I was noticing this is a trend. So if you're seeing makeup palettes come out that are really bold like this one, there's a reason for that. It's because that's what's trending. That's what's happening now with like the Anastasia Norvina palette that just came out. Obviously, other than Jeffree Star's palette, which is all gothic and grays and blacks and whites. And then many other palettes that have come out, it's really just color central. I think we're just very tired of all of the browns that are out there. I mean, they're there, they have their place. And, you know, I'll probably do that on a regular basis, yes, in the summer, but you know what? Sometimes we just want color. And so I really feel like that's why this is coming, because we just want, we want to be bold sometimes, you know? So actually, after swatching these for a second, I think I'm actually gonna go with this rich purple and yellow. I think that combination is just so sick and I love it so much. I also wanna see how well this palette works with purples, because purples are like the devil to formulate. And so I really wanna see how her purples do. Well, that's nice so far. That is nice and rich. I think I need a smaller brush for this. I'm gonna get my smaller, more precise brush, this one right here, to go in this inner corner. Get right in here. And with these intense shades, you really wanna press it in, get all that product off, and then blend it out. And I'm doing what we call a spotlight eye. So my yellow is gonna go right in the center here. I really wanna just bold this baby up. It is very buildable and I'm very impressed with this. I haven't really worked with a lot of purples that do this well. I am gonna bring this gently and softly blend out these edges right here. I really want this matte to just be like make a statement. So I got it a little bit wet. Goodness, girl, look at you. Oh, I just died. Yes, 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 yes. I'm just gonna add a little bit more purple right here. And since I have deep set eyes, I have to bring my a lot like a hooded eye, we have to bring our shadows up pretty far onto the brow bone just because of our eye shape. It's a pain, but it's what we have to do. I'm just gonna take a clean brush and just blend this edge out because I want it to be, this is the year of blending. This is when we really want those edges to be so soft and blown out. That's better. So there's this color, this like shimmery gold. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna put it right on the yellow and I'm just gonna see what it looks like. I'm super excited. I don't know if I should be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. This is so glittery. Oh, I'm gonna take that purple and basically just mirror what we did up top on the bottom. I'm taking that purple on a really thin brush, just stamping it in on the edges. And then this inner corner just like once. And then I'm gonna slowly move my brush down and just like blend that out a little bit. Now I'm gonna take the yellow and just stamp that right into the center. Get a little bit of that gold. So for the inner corner, I'm gonna go with this really gorgeous like fuchsia pink to go on that inner corner of my eye. See how this looks. So I'm just gonna take a clean blending brush to fade that pink out, because again, we want like a watercolor, faded, blurry look. We don't want it to be super like structured. To make this kind of like be more cohesive, I'm gonna add a little bit of that pink, just a tiny bit, to the outside edges of this. Another thing I've been seeing on Instagram is this trend to like bring the eyeshadow out towards the temples, which is kind of fun actually. I'm not gonna go all the way that far out, but I'm just gonna like fade it out that way. Now that this eye is done, I don't wanna take away from the eyeshadow or like cover any of that up with a liner, so I'm just gonna go pop on some lashes and I'll be right back. All right guys, so I have those lashes on this eye. Now let's move to the other eye. So for this other look, you guys, it's gonna be so simple. I used a few different brushes, a few different colors for this eye. It may have been a lot for you, but this one is gonna be one brush, maybe two if I'm feeling like I want to, and it's gonna be one color. That's all it's gonna be, super simple, super easy. I wanna do something like completely opposite from this eye. So I think I'm actually gonna go in from the original Jaclyn Hill palette with this like teal color, this like blue teal color, so pretty. So I'm just gonna start by stamping it in with my fluffy brush. You just go back and forth in with the product until you get the look you want. I'm just stamping it in, pressing it into the lid. I want it to go darker and then slowly go lighter as it moves up and out. And now I'm gonna move from stamping it into just kind of little circular motions or wind wiper motions, whatever works for you. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this like lighter shimmer shade all over and just like lighten that up. Oh yeah, and that shimmer is pretty, but all over. So it doesn't look like we're doing two separate colors. We're just lightening this up because I really want it to look more pastel-y. That's better. That's a much better color. I'm gonna use that same brush and I'm gonna kind of squish it because it's a little fluffy. I'm gonna kind of squish it, get it into that matte shade, and then just like press it under the lash line all over. And you're just gonna do that once and then you're just gonna blend it out like we did the top. And don't be afraid to bring this down, like really bring it down, fade it out. It's meant to be really like faded at those edges. Into the brow if you have to, totally fine. Really blend that out. Oh, that's fun. If you wanted to be a little bold with this, you could take like that neon pink and you could put it right in that inner corner. But I think I'm just gonna do like a really like light shimmery shade like we just did to lighten this up on the lid. I'm just gonna do that right in this inner corner. Yep, that's what we want. Just that lovely light glow right there. Okay guys, I'm gonna put some lashes on this eye and I'll be right back. So now if you've made it this far, we are almost done. We're on to the last trend for the video. So there's only really 3 basic trends for the lips. The big one is gloss. Gloss, 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 gloss. And I love this. I love a shiny, like bold, juicy lip, so I'm really loving this trend. The other 2 trends are really just the color choices. It's really just like a bright pink, like kind of what's on my eye, or like that classic red. Honestly, you could really pick any color. just gloss it. Like, we're not in the mattes right now. If you decide to do a matte, that's totally fine. But guys, trust me, when you put that rich, like shiny gloss on, like you're converted, like you can't go back. I would much rather reapply my lip color versus having dry lips from the matte lipstick. So we're gonna go glossy today. So on a normal day without this coronavirus stuff going on, I would say, oh yeah, go for that bold, go for that like hot pink and match that eye color shade and put that on your lips. But I'm just gonna go put a mask on because I have to go out to the store today. So what's the point? Like really, I'm not gonna do that. So I've just lightly lined my lips, then I kind of like messed it up and rubbed it off, and I'm gonna put the gloss on. Honey. So before I set my face, I realized I did not add any blush to this look, and I'm gonna keep it really, really soft and simple. I just want that tone to translate from the face to the eyes. So I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of those same like rich pink shades on here, but really soft. And yes, you can use eyeshadow for blush. It's not a crime. Go ahead and do it. I do it all the time. Setting spray, heaven. All right, you guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you had fun. I know I did. I love these new trends. I love the skin look. I love the brow look. I love all of it except for that hot pink lipstick trend. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that. And I think the whole white liner thing has been done a little too many times, but the ones that we did today, I love it. I love the direction it's going. I love how it feels, how it looks on the skin. And like I said in the beginning, these trends are liable to adjust and change at some point. I really think that the ones that I did today are really solid. I think that they're gonna translate into social media. I really think that they're gonna, actually roll over into the next couple of years. I think they're lovely enough that we're gonna start to see these things more and more. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you made it this far, you are true troopers, and I love you and I adore you. And if you'd like to see more content from me, go ahead and subscribe. If you like the video, go ahead and like it, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, ice cream, purple and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the ice cream.
It's a blue-green.
Good job, Mommy.
Thanks, honey. Did I do a good job?